Hello everyone and welcome to another stream. That seems to be our intro for these things. If you have my intro for my videos, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with, and then we have that one. It's a work in progress. It's sort of like a working intro, but we'll improve as we go along. Let me take off the intro so you should be able to see me. Welcome everyone. Welcome to the stream. Hello everyone that's still joining the chat. We have Mert. We have Jalen, we have Rose, we have Andrew, we have Weirdo Guy Films, we got Yusef, or Yusuf, however you want to pronounce it. Promo Essential, Diamond Fridge, Warrior Gaming, Isaiah, S. Shiva, Anthony, Lara, Sam, James, Reverse Flashes in here. That's dangerous. Yeah, welcome everyone to the stream that's coming in here. So we'll stream for around an hour. It's 7:05 where I am at the moment, or 7:06. I started the stream about 7:05, so I'll end it around 8 my time, so around 55 to an hour. 55 minutes to an hour we'll stream for. Yeah, we'll just see how it goes, I guess. Maybe if it turns to crap, we'll just end the stream early, I guess. But welcome everyone. I'll just wait a couple more minutes, I guess, or we'll wait another minute before we officially launch the stream, if you want to call it. Okay, I've got the wrong thing on this. So if I scroll down here, is that going to change there? It does. Okay, so I'm going to have to move this over here, exit that, and hopefully that doesn't screw up my stream. How do I do this? Hold on. Okay, I know this sounds weird, but something's gone wrong on my computer. So if I move this out, will that stuff up my stream? It does. Okay, it goes to my Twitter. Okay, I can't have that then. So I have to leave that there. Sorry, I should have organized this before, but it's gone to crap early. So this is not good. Okay, what if I move my Twitter out? Does that stuff up the stream, or is the stream still good? Stream's still good. Okay, so sorry about that. This is really disorganized, but this has never done this before. It's just decided to do it on this stream for some reason. Okay, I think I fixed it. Now if I copy that and go there, we should be all good in the hood. Okay, we'll start the stream now because I've managed to not stuff it up somehow. Please don't let this be the one that's... Okay, sweet. I figured it out. It's all good, guys. It's all good. I don't know, this has never happened before. I had it set out to a T so it worked properly all the time, but for some reason it decided to stuff up today. Anyway, so yeah, let's jump into the stream. Well, actually, I'll get to Scully's super chat first. With $2 super chat, should I finish Arrow or Legends first? I'm so close. It depends. What season are you up to? In general, you want to finish Arrow what? You want to finish Arrow Season 3 before you even get close to doing Legends. That's probably the best way to go about it. Or finish the first, 3.5 seasons of Arrow and the first, season and a half of Flash before you start Legends. But Dan McRiggs with the £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Dan. All he says is hi. Hello, Daniel. Or Dan, might I say, yourself. And Sam with the $5 super chat. Am I the only one that thinks this Diggle envy storyline with Oliver is weird and out of character for Diggle? Who cares which suit you wear? I think it's more about broken promises. I think that's more what it's about. I think that's the theme that they're going for on the episode. Just Oliver promised Diggle that he would give the suit up and that he was going to quit, and then he comes back in and sort of tarnishes Diggle's dream, if you want to call it. I think that's mainly the theme that they're going for in the episode, and that arc, if you want to call it. But we'll jump into the actual stream, I guess. So the first thing is don't spam in the chat. So Mert's doing the good old bird spamming in the chat. Regardless if it's offensive or not, don't spam emojis because you're probably just going to get timed out by one of the mods, and there's more mods now since the last stream. And that goes the same with spamming my name. I don't really mind if you write it once or something, but if you write Pagey, 20 times or something, it's going to be the same thing as an emoji, so you're going to get timed out. And then just keep the chat nice and civil. So, be nice to one each other and all of that. Yeah. And then if you want to do what Scully, Dan, and Sam did, you can super chat. And you super chat by clicking the little dollar emblem down here. You can go send a super chat, might I say. And you can just drag up and choose whatever amount you want. and then just type in the chat, I don't know, I can't type today, we are the Flash, question mark, exclamation point. We are the Flash? I don't know if that's the correct way you would say that. Anyway, so you can do that. If you can't super chat, because some countries and some locations cannot super chat, you can click the link at the top of the description, which does say streamlabs.com/Pagey, and you can donate through that means. And then also I have my Patreon as well in the description below if you want to go check out the rewards and all of that stuff over there. So let's get into the stream. Let me get up my OBS so I can actually see what's going on, and if the stream decides to kick it. Okay. What's going on in the chat? We have I seen The Walking Dead? I watched the season. Well, it's not really a spoiler because I think that season's been over like 2 seasons, I guess. The last time I watched Walking Dead, like the last season I was watching it consistently, if you want to call it, was the season that Sasha died or something, and she's in the coffin or some crap. And I didn't even watch all of that season. I stopped watching up halfway through it and then watched the finale because I wanted to see what happened. And I was disappointed, so I just stopped. I was sort of on edge of quitting it for a while, and I just decided to completely drop it. It's just to show that it's like a bit too boring in my opinion a lot of the time. And yeah. Dan McGriggs with a £2 super chat. Gary Gamon said, will Barry go back to prison? I highly doubt it. They've already done that. There's no need to. They sort of went through the whole like Trial of the Flash storyline, if you want to call it. I don't think I'd be very if he ever goes back to prison, he won't be going there as a prisoner. He'll be going there as a visitor, if you want to call it. Dark Hasio, hopefully I've pronounced that right, or Hasio, hopefully I've pronounced either one of them right. If I haven't, then I'm sorry. With the $10 super chat, is there a crossover that you would like to see on Flash or Arrow? So like a storyline, I guess. The main one I want to see is sort of like an Injustice League sort of thing going on. Like the main one I wanted to see, and like Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent on Superman, Clark Kent on Smallville, might I say, has started doing conventions more. So there's been rumors that, okay, well, he wants to do more of this because he might want to get more into the TV side of things again. And he's been going around with Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor on Smallville. Now, one of the cool things I would love to see is this year or next season's crossover is, I know you could say it's very similar to this year's crossover, but we're dealing with Nazis and stuff, so it's a bit different. But you have like an alternate Earth where there's like evil versions of our characters, if you want to call them, but they're played by different actors. So, for example, you would have like an evil Superman. You could call him Ultraman if you wanted to, like it is in the comics, or you could call him something else. But he's played not Ultraman. Sorry, you could have like because I don't want Tom Welling, who played Clark Kent, playing like a Superman copy. If I was going to do it, you'd have him playing like Owlman or something from, I think it's the Earth 2 version, like what they did. So him playing Owlman, and then you have Michael Rosenbaum, who played Lex Luthor. You have him playing the Flash on that Earth, because a lot of you guys might not, or some of you guys might know, but he voiced Wally West on the Justice League TV show. So that'd be like a really cool homage and just a throwback to have him play like an evil speedster. And I think they'd both be able to do it pretty well. Then you can have all these other characters as well, and they could reference back to various past DC shows and stuff by casting these characters just for that crossover. I think that'd be really cool. I don't know, like you could probably have like a Superwoman, if you want to call it, and maybe have, well, wouldn't be able to get Linda Carter to play it. I think she's a bit too old. But you could get maybe like, I know you get is it Kristen Kroik or whatever her name is, the girl that played Lana Lang on Smallville. She could play that. They could do a lot with that, and there's like a lot of different people that could cast in those different roles. So I think that'd be pretty cool in my personal opinion. We did get a Streamlabs, so let me just open up Streamlabs so I don't miss it now. But I don't know, does anyone think that would be a decent crossover idea? Like you'd have to have a decent amount, I think, just to take on those heroes. And even then you could have it like an Earth, whatever this Earth might be, another like a Deathstorm or Evil Firestorm or something, and then have Robbie Amell come back and play that role or something like that. But Cowboy in a Hat with the $1.50 super Streamlabs donation, whatever you want to call it. Who do you think Mystery Girl is, / who do you want her to be? Also, we are the Flash. We are the Flash. It's very important to go through your life remembering that we are the Flash. I Otherwise, yeah, issues could go. Issues could happen. Yeah, it's a crime syndicate essentially, but not exactly what we saw in the comics. So mix up the characters a bit just to fit what they want to go with on the show. Like I wouldn't want them having like an Ultraman. Just have something else. Yeah, like just mix it up. Like they'd have to have more characters as well, I think, than what was in the crime syndicate. But yeah. Well, yeah. Who do I think Mystery Girl is? / who do I want her to be? Well, I think the easy one to go with is Dawn Allen, and I think I'd want her to be Dawn Allen the most, just because I think it opens up doors and it might cancel out something that I really don't want to happen. The thing I really don't want to happen is Iris to get pregnant on the show, because I don't like it when they deal with kids on shows, especially when they're with the main characters. Like, it feels like Cisco and Gypsy having a kid, you know, it wouldn't be that much of an issue, because the kid would appear like once every handful of episodes, if that. So once every like 9 episodes, 8 episodes if you're lucky. With Iris, the kid would be appearing in every single episode. They'd have to do it just for context to make sure, like, is the kid alright? Is the kid dead? Or the kids, are they dead? Because we're not seeing them on screen. They'd have to appear in almost every single episode, and it drags the show down. Like, in like words and me saying it, it might not sound too bad, but when you watch it on screen, you're like, oh, this isn't good. And if you want it, that's fine, because I understand you might want to see Barry and Iris have kids, but I don't think you might understand like how much it can drag down a show. Especially a show like The Flash, where it sometimes just needs to explain a lot in one episode. And if you have to mix in some kids stuff, it can just, as I said, just drag down the show. So hopefully it is Dawn Allen, and we do get Dawn Allen brought in at the same time, or at least referenced. So that means we know that Barry and Iris have kids. We're seeing the kids when they're older. And then in like the last season of the show, so like say Flash gets to season 7. So in season 7 is the Flash's last season. In season 7, Iris gets pregnant. She doesn't give a birth. We end the series off with her like a decent amount through her pregnancy, and that's it, because we know she's gonna have. And maybe like one of the last episodes, it's revealed that she's having twins or something. And we go, okay, well, she's having Dawn and Dawn Allen, who we met back in season 4 or 5, one of the two. That's how I would do it, because I think it's the smart way to do it, and you avoid all that drama with actually having to deal with children on set and a baby on the show. You might be saying, oh, but Diggle and Lila and stuff, but yeah, how often do we see John Diggle Jr.? I actually can't remember the last time we saw him. It's been that long, so yeah. Dr. Cringe with the $2 super chat. Love you, Pagey. Oh, I thought it said love your Pagey reviews, Krypton. Love you, Pagey. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Cringe. Review Krypton. I watched Krypton last night, like the episode 3, the most recent episode. It's okay. I'm not loving it. I'm not gonna lie. As most of you guys would know, I'm not the biggest Superman fan, so like I'm not drawn to the show through me being a massive Superman fan. I'm just watching it because it's DC, basically. It's okay. I think it's only got 8 episodes or something. Is it only 8 episodes, I think, this season? So it's almost halfway through. So I only remember that last night because some stuff like heavily progressed. But yeah, it's okay. I'm not loving it, but I don't hate it. I just think I'll watch it. It's watchable. So yeah. But yeah. Is it 10 episodes? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was 8 or 10. I knew it wasn't 12. I knew it didn't go like that high up, because I think Black Lightning's got 13, so that Black Lightning's got like 2 episodes left. But yeah. When did I start watching The Flash? When it started, because I was watching Arrow since it started, and then Flash came on. I was like, well, I'll watch Flash then as well. Watch Timeless. I've heard. I was actually watching TV the other day, and it's going to start airing on Australian TV, Timeless, like those American network shows. So like your NCIS or like your Timeless and all those other stuff. They don't go to Australian TV until like a year or 2 later, because like the network, like the Australian networks, don't feel the need to buy the rights to show it straight away, so they'll wait till it's cheaper and they can just show the season after. So yeah, they're starting Timeless in like a couple of weeks or something from season 1, obviously. When did I start watching Arrow? At the beginning. So I kind of like, what, 2012? I think it was Arrow. What, 2012? Yeah, halfway through 2012, I think Arrow started. Hey, Paige, do you think Arrow season 7 will be its last? potentially you'll get a massive hint of whether it's going to be his last when the season starts. Like, and it wouldn't surprise me if they say before the season, if season 7 is going to be Arrow's last season, they'll tell us. Like, they won't muck around and just like tell us with like a couple of episodes to go. They'll tell us because they'll want people going, okay, it's this last season, you know what, I might tune in and watch the last season of Arrow to see how it all ends. Because saying something is your last season might drive up ratings a bit. Maybe not a massive amount, but a small amount, which it's worth telling people that it's the last season. So, if Arrow Season 7 is going to be its last season, they'll probably tell us at Comic-Con or something before the season even starts. But yeah, like, they won't, if they don't tell us then it's probably not its last season. The thing that's really going to affect Arrow is its ratings, because I think last episode got really bad ratings. Like, I think it's the worst Arrow's ever gotten. I'm not too sure about it, though. Do I want Arrow to end? No, because I think it's still, like, after Arrow Season 4, I was like, oh, God, what's going on here? But, like, Arrow has the ability to keep going if it wants to. Like, Arrow could get to Season 10 because it could bring in interesting villains. It's proven that it can create a villain and make him really good in the form of Adrian Chase or Prometheus or Simon Morrison, whatever you want to call him. Like, that's an OG, like an original character for the show. Sure, they used a comic book character's name to attach to him, but he really wasn't that character. It was just more of an alias. So, they've proven that they can create their own characters and move and make a good season. So, yeah, I think they could keep going if they wanted to. I think Richard Dragon's building up and he's going to be good when it comes to the end of the season. So, yeah, I think they could keep going as long as they have a half-decent creative team attached to the show. If you could meet one cast member from Arrowverse, who would it be? Probably Stephen Amell. He's coming to Australia later this, I think July or something, or June. I'm not too sure if I'm going to be able to organise anything, though. I'll have to wait and see what he's doing down here, because he's going to like a convention down here, but I don't know if he's down here because of that Code 8 movie. I don't know if they're premiering it then, or if it's just a random trip to Australia and he's going to do a convention while he's here. I'm not too sure, to be completely honest. Do I watch Attack on Titan? I think I've watched like a couple of episodes. I'm not really into anime, to be completely honest. Like, not it's more like I get into things like really randomly. Like, the only thing I'm like consistently interested in is like superhero stuff. But then like when it comes to anime and other little niches and stuff like that, I'm like in and out of them. So yeah, I'm not like there might be like just like a couple of months period where I'll be like really into it and I'll keep watching it and stuff like that. But at the moment, no. How will Flash Season 4 end? Please answer. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it does end. I am hoping that we do get a cliffhanger leading into next season in regards to the villain. Hopefully it isn't just some like really vague cliffhanger with like, it's just like, okay, well, hopefully we get that explained. Hopefully it is the villain. Hopefully they do tease the villain heavily. That's something I would like to see. You know, what do you call it? Cobalt Blue. That would probably be the nice one to get. Why does DeVoe hate the Flash and why is he evil? Well, I don't think he necessarily hates the Flash. He needs the Flash. That's why he hasn't killed the Flash yet. And he's evil, but just because, like, I don't know, they haven't really like properly explained he's evil, but he's just like slowly being driven to insanity because of what's happened to him. But yeah, that's about it. Like, they haven't really properly explained on the show, to be completely honest. How excited for Gotham am I? Pretty excited. I didn't watch that white band or red band trailer they released because I watched it last season and it spoiled a lot. So I've just like, and I think even the season before it spoiled it. And like, I'm not watching these things anymore because they just spoil the upcoming episodes. Like, they don't give like the main things away, but just like little things they spoil. I'm like, what's the point of this? You've just spoiled it. It's a bit annoying to me, to be completely honest. But I don't watch those trailers anymore. But I am excited to see what they do with Jerome and stuff like that. Because apparently he's on like a quest to find the real Joker, from what like it's being said in interviews and stuff. So, Dan McRiggs with a £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Have you seen Rick Cosnett's recent tweet? Is it the one about him just talking about season 5 of The Flash? If so, then I have. Let me look him up. Rick Cosnett. Oh yeah, yeah. I retweeted that and like gave it a bit of a like, what do you want to call it? Yeah, sorry. I don't know. He could just be celebrating a show that he was, you know, fairly well known for. That could be what's going on there. Or he could be hinting that he might be coming back. That could be one thing that's going on here. Let me answer a question from Streamlabs from Chris Westgate with a $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that. The Flash production team says they didn't want this season to be darker than last, even though season 2 was the best. But haven't more people died this season? And it was just Iris in trouble. Sadly, HR2 being hyped up. Yeah, that is true. Like, it is weird that they said they were going to make the season lighter, but then they've had some of the more, probably the darkest moments in the Flash's history. Because I didn't even think season 2 was that dark. It was just when Zoom was there, it was dark. But like last season, it was just dark in general. And then this season, I think the issue with season 3, it was just dark in general, no matter if Savitar was there. Like, that was, I think, the main issue with the Flash last season. Even if Savitar wasn't there, it was dark. The thing with season 2 and season 4 is that it's dark just when the villain's there. You know, when something's revolved around Zoom, it's dark. Whether it's seeing what he's doing or them talking about Zoom, it's dark. And this season, it's the same. Like, we're only really getting massively dark moments around the DeVoe when he's, like, killing people and taking their head, their consciousnesses and stuff like that. While in season 3, it's just the whole season was essentially pretty damn dark. But yeah, when it didn't necessarily have to do with Savitar directly. So I think that's season 3 is the worst. Deadpool snot face. So the first, like, when does season 3 like drop it? It's probably like episode 16 or 17. It just gets like, it just drops it. You could argue the whole back half of the season is just like, just not that good. But I still like the Wrath of Savitar episode, which is episode 15. I still really enjoy. So I think it's like really after that, that it just sort of drops. If you watch my video on like how to fix the Flash or like what's wrong with the Flash or something, whatever that video was called a couple of weeks ago, you would know what they should have done in season 3. And I think if they could go back, they would change it, because this season you can obviously tell they're trying to retcon certain things and just forget that certain things happened in season 3. But yeah, well, obviously you can't go back and change it right now. But what was I going to say? Like the darkness, I think the Flash sort of wants to have its darkness, because it just seems to have that with the Arrowverse. Like, Legends is a fun and like all over the shop show, but it still has some dark moments. Supergirl has some dark moments, especially this season. They're going for a bit of a darker season, but still not dark. And then Arrow, you know, has like, it's more dark a lot of the time, but it still has light moments. You gotta have those like contrasting things going on within a show. The Flash just has issues of like balancing it. I think the other shows balance it fairly well. The Flash just has an issue of balancing it, because you expect the Flash to be like a vibrant character, but if you think about it, it probably shouldn't be that way, because the Flash has a pretty messed up past. So anyway, I can't judge season 4 of the Flash because it's not over, you know. So like Codfish just asked, do you think the Flash season 4 is better than season 1? I was like, well, I don't know, because it's not over. We're only, what, 16 episodes into it. There's still, what, 8 episodes left. I don't know how it ends, so I can't tell you what it's like overall. It could have an amazing ending, which could make it better than season 3 and 2, or it could have a terrible ending, which makes it the worst season. It's hard to tell at the moment until the season actually ends. It's the same with Arrow. Everyone was calling Arrow crap this season. Now Arrow's starting to get better, and everyone's like on edge, saying, "Oh, is Arrow going to be good this season?" Because Arrow's season 5 last season was bang average the first half of the season. I wouldn't even put it like top 5 seasons in the Arrowverse. But then the back half, when like the Prometheus stuff comes out, it's just like, whoa, this is getting pretty damn good, and then ended up being really, really good, and arguably the best season of that Arrow's had. It's still number 2 in my opinion, but yeah, like it ended up being really, really good. So let me fix something up on my screen. Okay, here we go. Augustin Juarez, hopefully I pronounced that right, with the $2 super chat. How excited are you for the next crossover? I'm always excited for the crossovers, even if it's a little one, such as like when Jesse came to Legends and stuff like that. Little crossovers are always awesome, might I say. I get more excited when they actually announce what the crossover is going to be, because we can theorize what it's going to be all the time and stuff, but until they officially announce it, that's when you can start building the hype, because you can just imagine what they're going to do with that storyline and that crossover and stuff like that. So that's really when my hype builds up for a crossover, and hopefully they do something very interesting, because each season they seem to be improving upon it. So like the first season's the first Arrow Flash crossover, sorry, was fairly basic. The second one was a glorified Legend setup. It was okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. The third one obviously brought in Supergirl, had the Dominators, which was like next level, and then we had the Crisis on Earth X, which was just like even bigger. So I'm very excited to see what they do this season, or next season, might I say, for the crossover. Thank you, Max, for the $1 super chat. Very much appreciated. What are your predictions for who will be on the Legends next season? Well, obviously we know Constantine's joining. I have a feeling Wally's going to go. We'll have to wait and see, though. Like, the finale is later this week, so that should really explain more on what's going to happen next season. But obviously Constantine's joining. The Ava Sharp got put on as a season 4 regular, so she's going to be there. Maybe not necessarily with the Legends, because she's the director, I guess. So I guess she'll still be the director of the Time Bureau, if that's what they're going to do. But yeah, so I have to wait and see I don't know if they're going to, like, she's going to join the Legends, or the Time Bureau is still going to be a thing, and she's just the director of it, and she's always popping in and out. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, well, no, because it just matters if Amaya leaves. That's probably the big thing. Like, we don't know if like Amaya's gonna leave and stuff like that, so I have to wait and see. At the end, later this week, when the finale's finished, because obviously Jax is going to be in the finale as well. So is he rejoining the Legends, or is he just showing up for some random thing? Who knows? Kieran with the £2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Kieran. And then Naruto with the $2 super chat. Did you make up that synopsis for the April Fool's vid? Yes, I did. Hence the Iris goes shopping. Some people were still annoyed by the April Fool's thing, but I was like, I get annoyed when someone makes an April Fool's video and they don't make it clear that it's an April Fool's video. They just make it out and just pretend it's real. So like the Comic Book Cast channel, I think, does that. They don't actually tell you it's an April Fool's joke. They expect you to believe it, and just you realize, oh, it's April Fool's. But I did want to make it. I was thinking about doing that. I thought, no, because this could be a video that obviously people will watch later on. So I want to make it clear that it's an April Fool's joke. So I did put the Iris goes shopping in there, and I thought that was enough. But then I also said at the end of the video, like, hey, it's April Fool's. And even the way I talked about Iris going shopping, I thought that would be another hint. So I was hoping that there was a couple of hints there that it was an April Fool's joke. But obviously I needed to explain it further on. Never believe anything on like April 1st, 2nd. That's probably like or even March 31st, because of time zones and stuff. Just keep it wary on those dates and just double check information. You are the only one who put the Iris goes shopping in there. You sounded convincing, though, but there is no way it was true. I don't know. We never know. It'd be hilarious if like the actual synopsis for that episode came out and there actually was a thing about Iris going shopping. That'd be next level. Anyway, Sam with the $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Sam. Adrian, next episode, if so, hi. I want them to follow up on the final scar he gave Oliver. Now when you look at it, you remember our time here together and the secret you confessed to me. Yeah, so Adrian Chase is meant to be appearing in not this week's episode or today's episode of Arrow, but next week's episode. This week's episode, we're going to be introduced to the Vertigo drug again, or reintroduced, might I say. There's a promo image of Richard Dragon or Ricardo Diaz and Black Siren with a vial of Vertigo, and I have a feeling she's going to be the one that injects Oliver with the vial. I have a feeling, that's my thought at least, and Oliver's going to start tripping out, and this is going to give him hallucinations and stuff leading into next week's episode, where we know he's going to be in various Arrow suits from like season 1 to 3, the season 4 suit. We're going to be in the Queen Mansion. Apparently Robert Queen's in the episode. And then also Adrian Chase is meant to be in the episode as well. So there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be happening next episode. And we'll talk about Arrow, just connecting back to Sam's question. Tommy Merlin's going to be in episode 21 of this season. However, what do you call him? Christopher Chance, aka the Human Target, is apparently in the episode as well. So I have a feeling that he might be impersonating Tommy Merlin. because he's the guy that can like do all the disguises and stuff. This is what I'm connecting, because I don't know how they're going to bring Tommy Merlin in if it isn't a crossover. Not a crossover, sorry, a flashback. And I think Stephen Amell said they're not really doing flashbacks in this back half. But yeah, I don't know. So I don't know how they're going to work in Tommy Merlin, but I think it's because of Christopher Chance. And then obviously we know that Sarah Lance is actually going to be in the finale of this season as well, which is interesting in itself. And I find it interesting, and I say it's interesting, because Katie Lotz dyed her hair, and you think she just would have waited an extra month or so to do so. But I guess they're not filming that finale for like another 3 or 4 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks. They're filming that finale, and she would only have to go in for a day, so they might be able to put a wig on her or something like that. Maybe she might be dressed as the Canary that she was in season 2. Maybe that's why. But if you follow Katie Lotz on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff, you would have seen that she like dyed her hair red, or like fire red, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I wonder what they're going to do there in regards to her hair. Anyway, $2 super chat. $2 super chat from Zarp. Will the legends start traveling the multiverse? I hope they do. I hope that's something that's hinted at maybe in the finale this week, and then evolved as we move into the next season. But I think introducing multiverse travel opens up so many doors for the show. It's something I've wanted for a while. Like, I've been watching my videos. I think I said it, well, obviously last year at some point, obviously during this season, but I think, you know, maybe like a couple of episodes into this season, I'd really like it if they did the whole multiverse thing with the show. Just because it adds so much more. And there's only so much you can do traveling through time, and so many villains you can do. It can get repetitive. So I think if they do, yeah, multiverse travel, just, yeah, I don't know. The doors it opens is ridiculous, and also the villain possibilities as well. And also we get to explore more Earths as well. Maybe she's playing Earth 2 Sarah on Arrow finale. That's true. They could do the whole red hair thing, but they have sort of hinted that she's dead. So I don't know what they would do there. Like, yeah. And the finale, yeah, I don't know. From what it sounds like it's going to be Earth 1 Sarah, like our Sarah. It sounds like that's what they was saying in like the press release and stuff. But we'll have to wait and see. But I'm excited to see what they do there. And you would have to think it's connected to Black Siren and what's going on there. You would have to think it is. Biosphere with the 20 Norwegian Krone super chat. How many episodes of Arrow and Flash this season? Both of them have 23 episodes. However, that's actually a good point, because I was going to bring this up later in the video, in the stream. It has been rumored that Arrow might be dropping episode numbers. Flash will stay on because it still gets ratings, but because Arrow has been dropping in ratings, the rumor is that Arrow might drop down to a Legends number, so around 18 episodes this season. I don't know, does anyone think that would be a good idea? Or do you think... personally, I think less episodes is the better. I think Legends has the best amount of episodes this season. Like, it's the perfect number for a superhero show. I think 12 and 13 is too short. For Black Lightning, it's good because it's world building and it doesn't have like the most... it's more of a personal story without spoiling what's going on there. But with Arrow, I think if it dropped down to 18... I think it'd be okay. I think it'd be okay. I know it's weird me saying that as a YouTuber, because I'm losing like 5 episodes of content or 6 episodes of content. But personally, I think just for viewing wise, I think it would be decent, because you're cutting out basically filler episodes. And a lot of people complain about filler episodes. So you're cutting out those filler episodes essentially and just getting story. Maybe 1 or 2 filler episodes mixed in there, but they should be good filler episodes. You know, they can put like interesting singular stories in those filler episodes. And then, yeah, but I don't want anything less. Like, I think if they went down to 16, that's too short. That's cutting off, you know, a third of the season. That's too much, or a third of like what we had before. But I think going down to 18 is decent. I think that's okay. Demons Magic with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Demons. Hey Pagey, love your channel. Thank you very much. Do you think Sarah will get to meet Evil Laurel finally in the Arrow finale? That's what I'm hoping. I hope that's the reason that she's there. I think that's why she's there, because what it sounds like is that it's not going to be a massive role. But I think she could do that, and also maybe help Oliver with something. Maybe the whole Ricardo Diaz thing. Or it could possibly be doing the whole Black Siren thing, and maybe connective tissue to the League of Assassins thing. Because the way that last episode ended, it almost seems like League of Assassins will be involved next season. Whether it's reviving Malcolm Merlyn or reviving past people and making them the threat. I think that would be a cool plot point for next, or overall story for next season, is the whole Lazarus Pit thing and evolving past villains possibly, or bringing back, you know, past ra's al Ghuls as the villains, and like people that are just really threatening and stuff like that. Because I've been sort of annoyed, as like when they said like the Lazarus pit was destroyed, nothing else could come back. I was like, in the comics, there's like multiple Lazarus pits. Like it'd be really ridiculous, sorry, even just logically for the League of Assassins and like the ra's al Ghul to only have one Lazarus pit. Like there should be more. The fact that there's only one, I think, is a bit of ridiculous. Like that's literally putting all your eggs in one basket. So I thought that was terrible. But, you know, they've established that there's more, which is always good, which is really nice to hear. So hopefully they develop that next season. And that does bring the possibility of bringing back Roy and Thea for one episode. Now, Thea did leave the show because she wanted to pursue other things, but that doesn't mean she might not be able to come back for one episode to bring back information with like Roy and Nyssa and stuff about the Lazarus pits. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Arrow going forward, because I think that was a really cool thing to introduce. But yeah, mainly I think Sarah's there to meet Laurel and maybe push Laurel over the edge to being good. But we'll have to wait and see. Naruto, the reason I asked is a kid made a serious video based on your fake synopsis. I'll tweet you the video. Please do, because some people were telling me that people were posting on Instagram like the synopsis and stuff and saying that Flash, Savitar, and Reverse Flash, sorry, Savitar and Zoom are coming back, and I was like, oh god, I don't want to be that guy that spreads hashtag fake news. I thought it was clear, but yeah, please do tweet me the video. I'd be very interested to see it. And yeah. Do I watch Black Lightning? Of course I do. I watched last night's episode. I thought it was very good. I'm very excited. I think it's only got 2 episodes left. I'm very excited to watch the last 2 episodes. Hi Pagey, I love your videos. What's your favorite season of the Arrowverse? I am loving Legends. I am loving Legends. It's not over yet, obviously. It's got one more episode of this season, but I think this could be one of my favorites. But out of seasons that have ended, it'd be between seasons 1 of The Flash and season 2 of Arrow. And I say season 2 of Arrow over season 5 because season 2 of Arrow had the really cool flashbacks. Which had like a much better story than the season 5 flashbacks. So it just pips season 5 for me. And I think all of season 2 is good rather than season 5, which has like just a mind-blowing ending, but a bang average first half. Best Arrowverse show, Arrow or Black Lightning? Well, Black Lightning's only had like 7/8 of a season, if you want to call it. So I have to say Arrow. This season, you'd say Black Lightning, but then again, like Black Lightning is closer to its finish than Arrow is. But I am really enjoying Black Lightning. Interested, yeah, as I said, interested to see how it finishes off. And what they do in season 2 as well. Because going into like 5 episodes into this season, I was like, okay, they're going to use him as the villain. They're setting up that person as the next season's villain. They're going to be a recurring villain throughout all the seasons. And then everyone's just dead. And I'm like, what's going on? It's like, it just, there was, I can't remember, it was like 3 episodes ago where my mind was just blown at what they did. They definitely keep you guessing on Black Lightning without having like ongoing mysteries. Like that's one, someone just asked, sorry, about like maybe 2 minutes ago, why haven't I been doing Black Lightning videos? If you've been watching my streams before, I've explained this a couple of times. It's mainly that the show does not fit reviews on YouTube. It's just it's a good show, don't get me wrong, but it's like there's other good shows on TV that just don't fit the YouTube, at least how I review videos, like breaking it down, explaining what this can mean going forward and stuff. For me, Black Lightning doesn't fit that. Also, another factor in it is that it's on the same day as Flash. I know Flash isn't on, but, you know, it was on when Black Lightning was starting up, and it was just too much to do, and I couldn't really fit it in my schedule. So what I'm doing is a full Season 1 Black Lightning review when it ends. So in like, what, 2 or 3 weeks, I will have a Season 1 Black Lightning review out for everyone to watch. So it'll be a bit of a longer video. Favorite season of Legends of Tomorrow? It's probably going to be this one, just because like last season was really good. But I think this one's just been, I think every single episode has been amazing, apart from one episode, which was the mid-season finale, which I thought was just average. I thought it was a bit disappointing, to be completely honest. Do I watch Riverdale? Yes, I do. I don't even know. Is it on this week? No, it would have been on yesterday. Hey, I don't think it's on. I think it's taking a break for a couple of weeks. Biosphere with the 50 Norwegian krone. Marvel wins, to be honest. Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist is so good, especially Jessica Jones. Sort of, but you got to realize Marvel takes advantage of the Netflix formula with less episodes. If you stretch, like, the thing is, Punisher is the perfect example. That show should have been 10 episodes, and I heard it was meant to be 10 episodes, but Netflix wanted it to be 12. And the season, it's still a really good show, but if that season was 2 episodes shorter and they just compacted more of the story together, it could have been the best Marvel Netflix show. But because it's a bit longer, it sort of dilutes it a bit, if that makes sense. But if you stretched out like Iron Fist, like if that was stretched out to 18 episodes, even 16 episodes, it would have been terrible. Luke Cage, like the back half, yuck. The first half of that show was really good, but the back half of I think everyone agrees the back half of Luke Cage season 1 is terrible. I'm having like traumatic flashbacks of that like last fight on the street. Anyway, don't worry. But Daredevil, like I think Daredevil would be a show that would work if actually had more episodes because they could introduce other villains. But I think Jessica Jones fits really well in the platform it had. What phone do I have? I have a iPhone 8, except I'm meant to be getting like a new phone plan, and I think I get a new phone if I do it, so I might just sell this. I don't know. I bought it before I went over to America because I needed a new phone. Like I had like a crappy iPhone 6 or something, and it was like slow as hell. But yeah, I don't know. I have to wait and see. Naruto 0076 with the $2 super chat. The tweet is sent. Okay, well I'll be sure to look at it after the stream. If I look at it on stream, it might lag the stream a bit, so I gotta like leave it. Demon's Magic with the $5 super chat once again. Hey Pagey, great to hear you'll be doing a full Black Lightning review later. Do you think the next season of Arrow will be its last? If they announce it, if they don't announce it, then it won't be its last. Because Arrow's been one of the shows that's gone on for so long that they usually announce if the show's ending. Before the I'm not saying they'll announce it now that it's its last, but at Comic-Con most likely they'll announce if it's the last season of Arrow. If they don't announce it there, then it's probably not going to be the last one. And also it depends if this rumor about Arrow getting less episodes is true. I've heard it could be Supergirl as well, could be getting less episodes, and Flash will be the only one that gets 23 episodes. Don't count me on that, but I've heard that Arrow and Supergirl could be going down. Supergirl might only lose like 2 episodes and go down to around 20, but Supergirl could lose and go down to like 18, like Legends is on, and Arrow could go down to 18 as well. So Flash will be the only episode, or the only show with 23 episodes, which would be interesting. But yeah, don't count on Arrow being ending after season 7 unless they announce it. If they announce it, then it's over, but if they don't announce it, then just expect it to keep going into season 8 and beyond. Flashpoint Earth 2 with the $2 super chat. How are you enjoying Krypton season review? Question mark. Smiley face emoji, smiley face emoji. It's okay. Like as I said, I'm not the biggest of Superman fans. Like I'm not a maniac Superman fan. So I'm just enjoying it for what it is. It's okay. And I might do a season review depending on like how it ends and if I think if it does get renewed. We don't know if it's going to get renewed yet. So I have to wait and see. Hello Julian, welcome to the chat. Did I hear that Ava is going to be yeah, I mentioned that earlier, Confused Pug. Ava is going to be a series regular on Legends. Do I think Ralph will be in the Flash season 5? Well, I guess we'll have to wait and see if he dies this season. That's probably the main thing. So guys, just give you like, I'll stream for like another 10 minutes, roughly 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll wrap up the stream. So just give everyone the old heads up before we end all of this. So 10-minute warning if you want to call it. Do I think that Thea and Roy are going to Titan's Tower? No, they're going with Nyssa to look for the Lazarus Pits. I'll tell you one thing though. I was thinking this the other day. I bet you the CW is really kicking itself that it didn't do a Titan show because of how popular Kenan Lonsdale is now after Love, Simon. I bet they are kicking themselves, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with Wally West and they make him the lead of a new show or something, because Kenan Lonsdale's stocks are rising really quickly, like ridiculously quickly, to the point like if they don't do something major with him, he'll probably leave. Unless he's okay with doing like a little part just so he can do other things. I don't know. but they might lose him because his stocks are rising really, really quickly of late. You're really hoping for Arrow to do Dragon, right? So how do you feel about the way that they actually went about making him the villain, and what would you have done differently? The only thing that sort of annoyed me with Richard Dragon and the way that they've done him is the fact that they haven't really established his backstory well, but I'm hoping that they do that in the next couple of episodes. Sorry if you can hear banging, that's my next door neighbor. Yeah, I don't really know what they're going to do with Richard Dragon because they established going into the season his backstory, but they haven't really explained that on the show. But they could do that in the next couple of episodes because there is an episode dedicated to the dragon. It's literally called The Dragon. So hopefully there's like, maybe not flashbacks, but at least some backstory there. Ryan Deno with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Ryan. I almost called you Rhino. Ryan. And D Stingley with the $2 super chat. I'd love to see Win and Cisco working together. Yeah, they might do that next season. Like, I think next season they might actually involve Supergirl cast more than like what, just bringing Alex over and then having like doppelgangers and stuff. So I'll probably include the Supergirl cast more in next season's crossover. Can anyone go see Love, Simon? Well, yeah, it's not like age restricted, so anyone can walk in. Do you think The Flash is getting too predictable? I think the Flash has always been predictable. It's just that like it questions your predictability, if that makes sense. Like you think like, okay, that's obviously that, but then they'll throw something in there that makes you go, okay, is that actually right? Like you'll predict it early on, but they'll throw something in there that makes you go, is that actually true or not? So the Flash is always predictable. All the CW shows are predictable. It's just that they'll chuck something in there to make you question your prediction, if that makes sense. Not to be a homophobe, which I'm not, but Pagey, why is almost everyone involved with DC, CW gay or their character is gay? What do you mean? I can only think of one. I can literally only think of one actor on the show who like regular that's actually gay. But anyway, what happened to HR's girlfriend, Tracy Brand? They said that Fallout, one of the bus members, is with her. So she might be in the back after one of the last episodes of this season, or maybe they just wanted to reference her and she's just not going to appear on the show. Have I seen Suicide Squad Hell to Pay? I have not. It's on iTunes, but I don't want to buy it on iTunes. I might rent it on iTunes. Yeah, I don't like it how they do that. They'll release it on iTunes and you have to buy it. And then you have to whatever. I was looking at something on Twitter. You have to buy it or you have to wait a bit and you can rent it. So just put it both there for buying and renting straight away. It's so annoying. Is the show Legion any good? I've watched season 1. It's a show that I tried to watch week by week and I wasn't enjoying it. So I left it and I was like, this show is obviously for a binge watch. And I binge watched it, like starting again the episodes I've already watched. And I watched the whole thing when it finished. And it's much better. So I'm going to do the same with season 2. I don't think I'm going to watch it week to week. I don't think it's a show that... that's a show that fits Netflix, 100%. Or like some sort of just binge watch service. So much better that way. So if you are thinking about getting into Legion, like, give yourself some time and make sure you can watch like at least like 3 or 4 episodes in a row. Then take a break and then, you know, watch them all in a row. Because it's not a show that fits like episode by episode. Like, you can watch it that way if you want to, but just for me personally, it works better as a binge watch. Is Supergirl cringe? I think it's more campy and like corny than cringe. Does have some cringy moments, but I wouldn't say the whole show is cringe. I think it just more goes for like campy, corny stuff. Doug with the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Doug. Who should be the villain for Supergirl next season? Honestly, I have no idea. They might give us a thing like they did last season, like a teaser right at the end. Like they basically flat out said that Rain was the villain. But yeah, I don't know what they could do. It wouldn't surprise me if they just did like a Superman villain, just like twisted it around a bit. But yeah. When does Legends end? In what, 4 days? 4 days or something? 4 or 5 days? That's Legends finale. Do you think that season 4 of The Flash is less focused on Barry? No, it's pretty Barry focused. But it's just like Barry's not an interesting character this season. I think that's the thing. It's very focused on Barry, but Barry's not as interesting as he was in past seasons. Is Titans still going to be released? Yeah, it's one of those shows just taking a while. I think they want to finish the whole season before they, do anything with it. So it should probably come out maybe October. It wouldn't surprise me if that's when they launch the DC streaming service with Young Justice Season 3 and Titans. That's probably when they'll do it. And then they'll have all the other shows, they'll have like the previous seasons of The Flash and Arrow and Legends and stuff on there to watch as well. So they probably want to fill up their catalog of stuff that's going to be on the streaming service before they release it. Otherwise, you're paying X amount a month for like little content. In Australia, we're not getting it. From what I've heard, they're doing anything that's on the DC streaming service is going to be appearing on Netflix in Australia. So Titans will be on Netflix in Australia, and I'm guessing that's going to be the same in like England or the UK and stuff. Anywhere outside of America and Canada, sorry. Those DC streaming services shows will be on Netflix in your respective country if you're outside America and Canada. Paddy Prather, hopefully I pronounced that right, with a $5 super chat. Hey Kaylee, is that meant to be like a combination of Cal and Pagey? Anyway, if Arrow ends and Arrow move to Central City, we get best of both worlds. Thoughts? Yes, props to Cal. Name change, love you. I think if Arrow ends, the only character or actor I could see appearing every now and then on Flash would be Felicity. Honestly, that's the only character I could see. I think if Arrow ended, Stephen Amell would move on to like a movie, or he would move on to another TV show. I think that's what he would do as like a season regular because he has the name to do it. But yeah, so there might be like an episode or something, or maybe they could get him for a crossover episode or something where he could come back and do something. But I don't think he'd be like, he'd be like a regular on The Flash or something, showing up every now and then. As I said, the only character I could really see going from Arrow and appearing more than regular or every now and then, sorry, I might say on the Flash, would be Felicity. Yeah. But thank you for the super chat, Patty. Very much appreciated. Hopefully that's the best way to answer that. D. Stingley with the $2 super chat. Theory: Barry isn't the real Barry. You could say that, but they've done too much this season where it goes against that theory and would make that theory like nonsensical at this point. Like the whole quark sphere in the Speed Force and the fact that what we're thinking is Barry took it out, but the Speed Force still chased it. If Barry was still in the Speed Force, it wouldn't chase the quark sphere. You know what I mean? So it's a bit confusing if that would be the case there. So I think Barry is Barry, but early on that theory was going around, but there was evidence supporting that. But I think at this point there's too much stuff that they've done this season which goes against that theory. So you'd have to say I'd say it's dead and buried for the most part. What's my least favorite Arrowverse show? Supergirl. It's just because the show has potential, but I think Supergirl has the worst writing team. I think it's pretty clear because they have one of the better casts. Like I think the chemistry between all the cast members is one of the best, but the writing is really bad for Supergirl. Like in regards to like general points, I think when they go for major plot arcs this season, they've been pretty good, but I think the general writing is fairly poor. Mainly in seasons 1 and 2, obviously, but this season has been sort of the same. DC Legends going to make season 4. Yeah, all the shows got renewed. So Flash, Arrow, Legends, Supergirl, and Black Lightning are all getting new seasons. How happy would you be if Felicity died this season? I could really not care, because I think Felicity's actually turned into a half-decent character. It's actually funny. Like, the thing people were dreading is actually turned Felicity into a better character, or like at least a more tolerable character. You know, them getting married. You know, everyone thought, oh, it's gonna happen, but really doing that is like sort of eliminated the relationship drama for the most part. So yeah. So I'm just going through some of the questions here in the stream chat. Blah, 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 blah. Do you think Gotham will get a season 5? I think it already got announced that it's getting season 5. I think yeah, I'm pretty sure it already got announced. Sam Heinrich with a $2 super chat. How's Cal and 4-channel crossover info? I think we're doing it next week. Not this, like obviously this weekend, but next weekend I think we're doing it. Because Ben, aka the DC TV show, hasn't been home or something, and he's not home this week either. So, I think we're doing it next weekend. It's going to be on Boba Talks channel. But I'll let you know leading up to it. And then Cal's doing good. He was barking earlier, but I think he's calmed down. I think there was someone. I think it was just because of that knocking from next door. Anyway, he's calmed down now. So we'll stream for another 5 minutes, guys. I was going to end it now, but I'll go for another 5 minutes. How does one get mod? Most of the mods at the moment are Patreon, are patrons. That's one of the Patreon sort of like goal things that you can be mod. So that's basically, I think the only one that is on here that isn't a patron that's a mod is maybe Jaws, I think. I'm not too sure. I'm not 100% sure, to be completely honest. How is Gotham? I was thinking of starting to watch it. Season 1 and 2 aren't that good. Season 1's bad. Season 2 is decent, but bad at the same time. And then season 3 and 4 are good. And then you'd have to think season 5 is going to be good. They just struggled with establishing the universe and wondering what the show like. You can tell that the show has definitely gone off what they wanted to do in season 1 mainly, and then I guess maybe the first half of season 2. But yeah, they finally found like what they should be doing. Just make it so like just weird. Just make Gotham weird. Oh yeah, Naruto's not a patron either, but he does a good job in the chat. So I think basically everyone else is a patron. What do we know about the Flash and Arrow finales? Not too much about the Flash finale, apart from like theorizing on what could happen at the end. But the Arrow finale, we know that Sarah's going to be there as well. There's been false information that Tommy's in the finale. Tommy's in episode 21. He's not in the finale. From what we know at least. If he's on the set for the finale, then okay. But we know that Sarah's going to be in the finale. Which show has the best writers? Legends. I think Legends has the best writers. But I think they have an advantage with the show. Like the premise of the show is just a bit wacky, but they still have the best writing, in my opinion. Tyler with the $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, Tyler. Thoughts on Rick Cosnett's tweet hinting at your theory? Yeah, I quoted it in like color blue question mark and a couple of emojis or whatever I wrote in there. It's a nice one. It's a nice one that he did tweet out about the Flash season 5 and stuff like that. It'd be really cool if he came back for Cobalt Blue. I am hoping that they do Cobalt Blue next season, just because I don't know what they would do next season in regards to a villain. So I'm hoping that they do something with him next season, because he's an interesting villain and something a bit different. D. Stingley with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. You're so right about Supergirl. Missed opportunity. Wally or Barry should have helped her in episode 311. I can't remember what happened there, to be completely honest. Was that when she got... No. What happened in 311? I can't remember. Anyway. Whatever happened. Yeah, like Supergirl does weird things where like obvious things should be happening. You're like, okay, we could have done this then. They'll do like something the complete opposite. I don't think the writing is it's quite poor. It's definitely like when they get like the bigger writers on, which definitely helps the season, but like I think the general writing in their writers room isn't that good. I think it's pretty poor, to be completely honest. Why do the Arrow writers keep teasing then going back on the Laurel redemption arc? Bad writing, or do you think they know what they're doing and have a plan for later on? I think they have a plan. I don't think they want to establish it so early. I think they wanted to keep it sort of like on edge, if you want to call it, until right at the end. That's why I think Sarah is going to be in the finale, because I think that's going to be not only going to get in the finale, getting a closing to, you know, I guess the Richard Dragon stuff, but we'll also get a closing to the Laurel stuff, whether she's going to be good or bad. And I think Sarah's going to be in there, and that's going to be like the final piece to the puzzle, if you want to call it. But we can't really tell until we actually see the episode, obviously, but that's what I'm going to assume going into it. Do I like Iris? I want to like Iris, but her writing is terrible. It's very bad. I liked Iris in season 1 and 2, so if they do something with her which makes her on that level of likability from season 1 and 2, then yes, of course I'm going to like her. They just don't know how to write, and they put her in situations which just make her frustrating, I guess. What do you think will happen in the season 4 finale of The Flash? I guess Barry will beat the Thinker. There might be some sort of consequence from it, though. And then hopefully a tease at the finale, at the villain for next season or something like that. Do you think they'll put Laurel in the pit? Probably not. I don't think they'll do that. They might do something with, like, I don't think they'll do anything like that. I think a possible option for next season, though, and I think I brought this up in my stream from the other day, is that they could do something where maybe Malcolm Merlyn is brought back to life by that Thanatos Guild, and then he brings back Tommy Merlyn, and Tommy Merlyn would have been dead for ages, so he'd have to spend so much longer in the pit to be brought back to life, so which would mean he's just a maniac and he has like no clue what he's doing, which will make him like a crazy villain, which I think would be pretty good, because in the comics Tommy Merlyn is a villain. He was a friend with Oliver when they were young, and he is a villain in later life. So yeah. But I'm going to end the stream here, guys. Thank you very much for everyone that tuned in. Thank you for everyone that super chatted and donated, all that good stuff. Thanks to everyone that tuned in and just had a chat and all that good stuff. Obviously, if you're watching Arrow, be sure to stick around later on today for my Arrow videos and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next stream, which will be before the Legends finale. So get your hype hats on. Hype hats? That's not a thing that's going to catch on. Hey, hype boots. Put some hype boots on. So get your best pair of boots that have got the word hype on them. Wear them on Monday, I guess, if you're in America, before the Legends finale, and join us for a stream then. But yeah, until then, I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.